Behind him, Joe Ruttman in the 75 has taken over in 7th, and Buddy Baker drops back 1 position into 8th. Battle for 6. Marlin, Ruttman, Baker. Mike Joy.
Ken, Dale Earnhardt's got to be having a good time. You've talked about the lights coming on here at Daytona. He just called in to tell his crew it's the first time he's ever run a night race here.
I was just going to say, look at those lights up in the grandstand. Although the sun is still shining on the back straight.
5 laps remaining. 5 to go, and the shadow's getting very long here at Daytona.
Yeah, it's getting pretty dark on the front side of the racetrack. On the back side, where the sun can still peek over the grandstands, it's pretty bright back there.
Chad Little's number 19 on the bubble, and 72 bound, trying to make it into the field.
There's a possibility that they may throw a caution and call this race, but there is only 4 laps to go, so probably they'll just hang in there now.
Earnhardt stays up in front. Irvan 2nd, Kyle Petty 3rd, Rusty Wallace 4th.
And in the 5th place is Darrell Waltrip. Sterling Marlin is 6th. Joe Ruttman 7th. Buddy Baker 8th. Mark Martin 9th. And Bobby Hamilton, the rookie, up in 10th place.
Kenny Schrader, the Rick Hendrick car, is 11th, which is rather further back than I thought we'd see him. And Rick Wilson in the 8 car is 12th.
And Robbie Gordon now is out of the top 15. Chad Little being shown on the bubble in 15th position.
But Judy Dunleavy reckons they've got enough qualifying speed to put them in the race. Well, we'll just have to see how it all works out.
A couple of drivers from the Northwest. There you see Chad Little trying to hold off the car number 72 as they come back to the line. Chuck Bound up in front. Here's the struggle. It is Dale Earnhardt in front, and a driver who he has helped a great deal, Ernie Irvan, to get himself a good ride, keep him going. In fact, at one time, Earnhardt even set Ernie Irvan up with a car to bring down here to Daytona and run in the Grand National race.
Yeah, he became friends with Ernie when Ernie came from the West Coast and saw that he had a tremendous amount of potential. So he knew how much of a struggle it was himself, Dale Earnhardt did, in trying to get up through the ranks. So he has helped guys like Ernie Irvan.
2 laps to go. Final 2. And again, notice Kyle Petty closing in another time. The Pontiac of Petty moving into those 2 Chevrolets. It's a battle between 3 cars. Earnhardt attempting to win a 125-mile qualifier for the 4th time. For Ernie Irvan or this man, Kyle Petty, it would be their first trip to victory lane in a 125-miler.
Now the question is, can they make it on fuel? They ran a number of laps under caution, which should have let them conserve enough fuel to make it all the way.
Now they come out of 4.
And these 3 have really put some tremendous daylight between themselves and Rusty Wallace, Darrell Waltrip, and Sterling Marlin. They've dropped off the pace, sadly, towards the end. In fact, about the only daylight here, as it's nearly pitch dark as we go into turn 1 for the last time.
Final lap is underway. Let's see if Ernie Irvan has anything more. Earnhardt.
Ooh, sparks there coming off Earnhardt's car. Very low at this late stage in the race. Obviously no problem with his tires going off.
Kyle Petty moves in, closes up, picks up a draft with number 4 and tries to close on number 3.
Yeah, you wonder, is Earnhardt running out of gas? He pulled to the inside to sort of block them, but maybe that was just a move to keep them from trying to draft by on the inside.
Out of turn number 4, Kyle Petty looks outside. Here they come from Earnhardt's vantage as they come to the line, switching back and forth. It is Petty, but it's Earnhardt to the line first. Ernie Irvan in 2nd, Kyle Petty in 3rd in the second 125-mile qualifier. And we'll meet the winner, Dale Earnhardt, in victory lane after these messages. Today at Daytona. For Dale Earnhardt, Ernie Irvan in 2nd, Kyle Petty 3rd, Rusty Wallace 4th, and Darrell Waltrip in 5th. Taking a look just behind them, it was Sterling Marlin 6th, Joe Ruttman 7th, Buddy Baker 8th, Mark Martin 9th, Bobby Hamilton 10th. And rounding out the top 15, Jeff Purvis, Ken Schrader, Rick Wilson, Dick Trickle, and Chad Little make it into the Daytona 500. Let's go to Dave Despain standing by with the winner in the second 125-mile qualifier.
familiar family portrait, same one we saw Sunday in the Busch Clash. Now, you told us then we hadn't seen your best stuff after you tore them up in the Clash. Have we seen your best stuff now?
Well, this is our better car, hopefully. You know, it's good enough to win the 500. That's a long race. Today was just a qualifier, and, you know, we did a good job, the crew and the guys, and, you know, the good Lord give us a safe day, and, you know, we just come on home. I was worried about getting it in as far as the weather, and then, you know, it changed the track a bit. The car was a little tighter than what I thought it'd be, but we was good.
It looked easy. Didn't look like Ernie had much for you there at the end. Were you concerned at all?
Well, him and Kyle hooked up that last lap and drafted up to me down the backstretch. Ernie bumped me a little going in through there, sort of wiggled me, but we got through there okay.
Congratulations to you, Dale Earnhardt.
Thank you. I'd like to say hi to all the guys over in the Persian Gulf and wish them, you know, safe trip home.
Now let's go to Mike Joy with Ernie Irvan.
Ernie Irvan will start the 500 from the front row, but today's race. What do you think? You had the best view in the house. Have we seen all Dale Earnhardt's got?
Well, yeah, I think that's all he's got. You know, he's like us. He wasn't handling, we weren't handling, so, you know, it slowed our speeds down about a half a second, so it enabled a lot of other cars to run with us. But I think come the 500, we're both going to get our cars handled a little better, and I think we're both going to be awful tough to beat.
So we haven't seen all Ernie Irvan's got.
Well, you know, it was all we had for the day. You know, with some chassis adjustment and things like that, I think we got a lot more left in the car. And, you know, if we can come back and do that, this Kodak Film, Delco Remy Chevrolet AC spark plug car's going to run awful good.
All right, that's everybody. Let's go back to Ken Squire.
Coming up, a live Daytona 500 update and a look at the starting grid for the Great American Race.